Welcome to RetroLogic. I'm Dan Caporello here with John Cummins and Sam Wagers. And that's it. Just the three of us back in 2023. The three amigos, the three caballeros, the three
Tres Hombres.
horsemen of the apocalypse. Tres Hombres.
Mm-hmm.
But RetroLogic isn't just a podcast, it's a community of retro gamers. We've got an active, friendly, and free Discord community, giveaways, contests, and dive into our friendly, I said friendly already, our family of retro podcasts, like RetroGroove, a music history podcast, and On Topic Retro, a podcast dedicated to one video game per episode, hosted by our very own Jonathan Cummins. And also don't miss Sam on our Twitch channel doing some fun stuff. He's got Mega Mondays happening right now. And all that can be found at our website, retrologic.games, along with some cool merch and stuff that's still up there. So, yep. Guys, tell me something that happened this week. How was your week? It's been a little while, so don't indulge. But tell me about, like, Christmas and all that. Did you get anything good?
I'll let Sam go first.
Hi, Sam.
Christmas was a pretty low-key affair, I guess, for me, especially when it came to receiving gifts. You know, we're kind of at that. I'm at the point now where, you know, we exchange goodie bags of baked goods, and my parents usually give me money now, which is kind of awesome
Instead of socks and underwear.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was Christmas. It was also observed for New Year's because everybody was sick on Christmas.
Oh, bummer.
Like half my brother's kids had like pink eye. So that was the whole thing, but they're better now. They're doing good. Yeah,
deal.
a lot of retro type stuff happened. I remember posting in the Discord, my dad bought a PS3. I just find that funny.
That's what specifically did he buy the PS3 for?
So he had retrieved my brother's old PS3. A lot of our old stuff has stayed at my parents' house, and a lot of the time my oldest nephew will spend the night there, and he likes to play a lot of that stuff. So he'd kind of gotten interest in my brother's old PS3, but it wasn't working. The disk drive was shot. So my dad bought another for parts one and tried to tell me to fix it. And I was like, well, the disk drive is bad on both of these.
Aww.
So there's not really a lot I can do unless you want to like actually take that apart and replace the laser. And I don't want to do that.
You could just I just replaced a disk drive in one for Eric not too long ago.
Yeah, but he had two broken disk drives.
Where did you get the replacement though?
I bought it on eBay.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you get the right one.
At some point, he just got another one that's in working condition.
Oh, nice.
Okay, good deal.
I found that funny. And the funniest thing, too, is he dug out... We got it for him a long time ago, back when, you know, my brother was actually playing his PS3. My dad was really into the TV show Lost for a while, and there's a Lost video game, and we bought it for him, and he played it, like, one time. And so he found that again and played it, like, a second time.
Played it twice.
So Lost was lost for a while.
Nice. He can play Enslaved Journey to the West now. Should get him that. That game's sick.
If you got him an Xbox 360, you could have played Steel Battalion. I could see your dad doing that.
Yeah, with the whole tank.
With all the controls.
I think it's a little too complicated to him. Other than that, he pretty much sticks to the sports games. Because I think it's interesting because I think for him it's anything too mindless. He's like, what's the point? But anything too complicated, he's like, I don't have time to learn this.
I got to find the happy medium.
It's like sports games because it's like I already understand what baseball is. I already know what's going on. I already know what's going on in football. So
we should have him on the
see
podcast.
that.
Talk about his favorite PS3 games.
That would be interesting.
Rate them.
Lost.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
We'll have him on Father's Day. We'll have our dads on.
Yeah, my dad doesn't play video games. Like
My
closest thing would probably be like
Neither
pinball,
does
maybe.
mine, really, but he bought a PS3.
I don't know what my
So,
dad would
I
even
don't know.
say.
Things change.
My
I
dad's like
remember-
almost 80. Like what?
Yeah, that's my dad's almost 70, and like I remember being a kid, and he's like trying to show me how to play pinball, and he's like, "No, you gotta like rock this thing, man.
Like that's
Like, if you're
cheating.
not hit." He's like, "If you're not hitting it, like it's like this, you're not playing."
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just like a kid, like trying to just figure out the paddles.
That's awesome. John, what about you? How was your holiday New Year's situation?
Oh, it was pretty good. I got some Game Gear games and a Game Gear that doesn't work. It's like the best gift ever, right?
That's yeah. How do you
I mean,
so
yeah.
wait, what? It's broken.
Yeah, no, my brother found one, and he's like, "Well, I had the games already," and he's like, "I found this he probably got it at the Goodwill or something, and probably paid like $5 for it or something." So he puts batteries in it while I'm there, and the screen doesn't work. He's like, "Well, you can have it anyway." I was like, "I'm pretty sure I could fix it."
He's
So
like, I don't want
I'm
it.
gonna-
You take it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put new capacitors in it and see what I can do. Hopefully, it doesn't need a new screen.
I think
That's where it
the
gets kind of costly.
yeah, but I think they make ISP screens for those now. That are
They
pretty
do.
nice.
I think the lower end ones are still like $60.
That's not too bad.
It's not terrible, but if I could just replace the capacitors, that's like $6.
And then you can
So
play it
that'd
on
be
a
like
worse
the
screen.
ultimate win. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like to me, I just want to get it working. I want it to be an original shape if I can.
Yeah.
Because I can already play them on my analog pocket.
Right,
I'm not
yeah.
too worried about playing the games as much. I just think it's like I want to have it as pristine and like original condition as I can make it. I
sure.
guess
Yeah, I get it.
kind of restore it. But I have no idea if the screen's any good. Like because the capacitors could totally just make the screen blitz out on its own, and the screens could still be good, but you don't know until you replace them. So that's when I have time. That's going to be I have that, and then I have like a Dreamcast in the queue that I'm going to work on, and 2 original Xboxes that I'm going to see if they even work. I bought them at a flea market for $10 for both of them. I don't even know if they work.
Yeah, take those clock capacitors out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
hopefully
just
they're not
gonna
leaked.
go through them and just see. And
I gotta
then if
still do
I
that
get
on
'em-
mine. My Xbox is a later model, and so there's a chance it doesn't have that problem, but I still have to rip it open and figure it
Yeah.
out. I don't really want to, but it's kind of one of those things you got to do. Or I'll sell
They
it.
do work. I can
Who
get rid of
knows?
them.
These days, you never know with me. So
That's right. Be posting up everything.
I know, yeah. So
That's-
I'll talk about my holiday. That's kind of a good segue into what's going on with me. I had a good holiday. You know, it was pretty chill. We didn't travel anywhere because we have little kids, and I'm just like, look, family, if you want to see your nieces and nephews and grandchildren, like you come to me. I'm not going all the way so that they can break your stuff. Just come to my house. So we had some family, and then they left. But I kind of had this thing happen where I'm like very much into getting back into learning music again, which was something that I was very into in high school and a little bit after. And then kind of just like, I joined the real world and that died. And so now I'm back into it. I want to learn piano. I'm going to take some college courses in like theory and composition. And, I'm really passionate about it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell some of the lesser desirable to me items in my collection to try to pay for. I'm going to get a new keyboard. I'm going to pay for college classes, which are very cheap at the community college. It's like a couple $100 a semester. It's ridiculous. So that's the new thing. And so if you're in the Discord, check that Swap Meet channel for all the goodies that I'm going to be posting up. Like I posted Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo stuff and some empty boxes, like old, like Super Mario Kart, cardboard box and Super Nintendo cardboard box and a bunch of other stuff. And there's more where that came from. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so I'm not quitting video games. As John was like the first thing John asked me when I got on, he was like, "Are you selling everything. I'm like, no, I'm not everything. Like, I still want to do this. I just need money.
Just most of it.
Whatever. Just the stuff I don't never ever play that I just have to have. Like, you know. And the stuff that's very easily emulated as well. Like Super Nintendo is like it's like any dumb calculator can run it. So Sam, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been streaming lately and what their schedule is and stuff now that we're back?
Yeah, so I've been closing in on the end of Battle Network 2. That's probably going to last a couple more weeks. I did have, and I don't think I've put it on YouTube yet because holidays threw off all my routines.
Mm-hmm.
But Christmas, the day after Christmas, I have observed for the third year in a row Mega Man Xmas by streaming Mega Man X and continuing the pattern. This is probably the last time I'll extend it any further, but continuing the pattern last year, or well, I guess now I have to say 2021 Mega Man Xmas. I played through Mega Man X and Mega Man X2, so of course, for the third one, I had to do Mega Man X, X1, and X1, X2, and X3.
Oh, wow.
So I marathoned all three of those. That's why I moved it to the day after Christmas, because I wasn't really doing much, but I did have the day off because Christmas was on a Sunday.
Well, could you do X4 this year? Just X4?
I mean, I could do X4, but honestly, to me, the PlayStation Mega Man X games never felt right. But X4 and 5 are okay.
But that's why it's kind of entertaining to watch you
well, sure.
flounder through.
But don't make me play X7 again.
I'm
never playing X7 again.
Yep.
No.
You're going to do it.
No. But anyway, I am back to Battle Network, and I am sort of trying to get a game plan for when the collection comes out. I will probably move to that because I would like to have save files for online trading and battling. So I'm probably going to skip ahead chronologically to Battle Chip Challenge since it's not on the collection. So please do join me because that game plays itself. So I need people to talk to while the game is playing itself.
Awesome.
Mega Man Battle Network Simulator.
Yeah, good deal. What's worse, Mega Man 7 or Mega Man X7?
Mega Man X7, by far. Mega Man 7 is actually a pretty good game.
Yeah. Any of the original numbered Mega Mans are usually
Well, 7 is the one that's for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's a little jarring to go to that. It's definitely not my favorite, and it has the most infuriating Wily boss fight out of any Mega Man game by far. But it's not really bad.
I just didn't know. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
John, what's up with On Topic and Retro Rewind?
So, since we didn't do a show last week, I plan on trying to do one Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Thursday. I'm waiting for Spider Shan. So whenever he gets back and he's ready, we are going to do The Legend of Valkyrie, the Arcade Archives game that we played last month. If anybody wants to hop on, they can do that too.
Sweet.
It's still an open invite. I'll repost on Discord. And then also for this month, we selected, what game was that? That is true.
Fire and Ice.
Yeah, Fire and
Ice, right?
Yeah.
I was wanting Ninja Gaiden.
Fire and
Ice wins.
Beat Ninja Gaiden and
Kirby's Adventure.
Yeah. What is going on?
It's a really good game.
Fire and Ice is good.
I think we split the vote. I think Ninja Gaiden and Kirby split the vote because I didn't go Kirby. I went Ninja Gaiden.
Well, you know that massive overlap between Ninja Gaiden fans and Kirby fans.
It's a similar game.
Well documented.
Yeah. So
that's why I was like the puzzle game wins. This is kind of unusual. I kind of figure that everyone's getting kind of Kirby'd out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden is kind of intimidating for a lot of people, I think, too.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not a stroll in the park.
Give yourself a challenge. So if you want to play Fire and Ice along with us this month, it's on NSO. You can also buy it on NES, but I don't recommend
I
spending the
wouldn't
money on it.
know Fire and Ice is like $300.
Play it on NSO on the Switch, and you can join our Discord to join the conversation on our website, retrologic.games. You can also join the podcast. You can be a guest on the Retro Rewind episode of On Topic Retro if you play the game, or even if you just have an opinion about the game. And all that can happen on the Discord, so make sure you join up if you're not already.
Yeah, this one is one where it's cheaper you could buy a Switch and the online subscription cheaper than you could buy the game at NES.
It's just stupid. Game collecting's dumb. Okay, let's jump into some Prices Retro. If this is your first time playing Prices Retro, here is how we play. I'm going to list off 4 or 5 games, and everyone else has to guess how much the lot of games is worth in total. Whoever is closest to the actual value wins that round. Everyone has a list, and everyone guesses. At the end of everybody's lists, the player that won the most rounds wins the episode. But watch out for our robot, Deus Guess Machina. He averages all of our guesses together for his own guess. And he won a round a couple episodes ago. Yeah. Pulled one out. Show did. And so
Look out, humanity.
Yeah.
He has more wins than you do.
I know.
This season.
Shush. Shut up with that. Sam, why don't you go first since John's being a jerk?
All right. Well, speaking of machinery and robots, and I made this list a long time ago. I had it stored.
Nice.
The recent announcement of Armored Core 6 has me excited for Armored Core again. So I did another Armored Core list. I know I've done at least one before, but these are all Armored Core games across all different platforms, actually, this time, although they are all PlayStation platforms. So first up, I have Armored Core, the original for the PlayStation. Complete in box. Followed by Armored Core 9 Breaker for the PlayStation 2, complete in box. Armored Core Formula Front for the PSP, complete in box. And Armored Core 4 Answer for the PlayStation 3, complete in box.
4 Answer.
Who goes first?
That would be me. I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, I'll do a little bit of math here. I don't know what any of these are worth, so I did some blind guessing, and I got 170.
I'm going 200.
170, 200.
And a 185 for Deus Guess Machina?
185 for the robot. Well, John will take it. The total is $218.31. So you're all pretty close.
It was way closer than I thought I was going to be.
But you're all low, all on the low side. So Armored Core for the PlayStation is $69.54. 9 Breaker for the PS2, $83.40.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive one.
Dang.
At least the most expensive one on this list. I think maybe one of the other ones is higher. Formula Front for the PSP, $19.13, and 4 Answer for the PlayStation 3, $46.24, which is pretty high for a
expensive
PS3 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so John gets a point. There's still hope. There's still hope, guys. Next up is me. I've got a list. These are all games that I'm selling in Discord right now. Ready? We have Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, loose. Donkey Kong Country 3 for the Super Nintendo, loose. Actually, I'm selling the whole trilogy, so if you need that, it's there. Clay Fighter for the Super Nintendo, loose. And Uni Racers for the Super Nintendo, loose. And the first guesser will be John.
Yeah, it has to be me. Okay. Let's do $100.
Okay. Hundo P.
Okay, well, I have $91.
Right. Actual retail price is $69.66, which gives the point to Sam. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. We've got Star Fox, which is 15 even. Donkey Kong Country 3, which is 26 even. Clay Fighter, which is 13.63 and worth every penny. And Uniracers, which is the criminally low price of 15.03. That game should be.
Man, Donkey Kong 3 has come down.
Yeah, everything kind of came down recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it being such a late release, I would have thought it would be a little higher.
Oh, it used to be like a $45
Everybody's
game.
got Donkey Kong.
It did. Yeah, they were all 30
I mean, it
plus.
still sold well. So.
Yeah, they were all 30 plus for a while. It's also the least desired Donkey Kong Country game on the Super Nintendo, so it kind of balances out.
Didn't make as many of them.
Yeah. But it's a good game. Like, it's a solid Donkey Kong Country game. And if you're put your nose up at it, then I'll put my nose up at you. That's what I got to say about that. So then it's just John. Go ahead.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, no, Sam was still because it was lower than his guess. I was checking in on the robot.
Yeah. His was like 96 or something. 95, 96. John, your list.
Alrighty. I didn't have a list prepared, so you guys are getting a full list of Harvest Moon games for the DS.
God.
Great. These are all complete in box. They're all Harvest Moon. And these are all for the DS. So, first one is Grand Bazaar. The second one is Sunshine Islands. The third one is Island of Happiness.
These aren't real.
And the last one is Frantic Farming. All Harvest Moon, all DS, all complete in box.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say
it's my turn to guess first.
Sam, go first. Yeah, you go first.
My turn to guess first. I'm just gonna say $100 even because I really don't know.
Okay. I was gonna do that. Well, I'm gonna say $50 now. I'm gonna lowball myself.
Alrighty.
Nobody wants those Harvest Moon games. That's my prediction.
No, these are definitely not the winners. The total is $111.25.
Why do I suck this season?
I don't know, but Sam is.
How am I winning this season?
Sam is winning.
That's what I want to know. This is weird.
Sam is winning.
Sam is on point. Yeah.
On fire, bro. Okay. I guess I'll take a breakdown of that.
Okay, so Harvest Moon. Okay, I'm just going to go by the names again because, like I said, these are all Harvest Moon, all DS, all completed box. Grand Bazaar is $36.46. Sunshine Islands is $39.30. Island of Happiness is $19.18. And Frantic Farming is $16.31.
Wow.
So these are all cheap. Like you can get them relatively easily.
Yep.
If you want poopy Harvest Moon games.
All right. Well, congrats, Sam.
Just get Stardew Valley on a Switch.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Congrats, Sam. Good job. Keep up the good work. Sam, you have a Spot the Fake for us.
Yes. So this is another one that was tied to the Game Awards. I have a list of game titles that were announced at the Game Awards last year. Except one of them I made up.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a Spot the Fake modern.
You're exploiting us because we don't watch the Game Awards.
No, I didn't.
Yep.
I watched it up until Kirby won Best Family Game, and then I turned it off and I said, that's all I needed. Goodbye.
After they snubbed Xenoblade 3, I couldn't watch it any longer.
Well, what they snubbed was Triangle Strategy, but that's okay. I know the truth. All right, so without further ado, this is a Spot the Fake. So all of these are games whose titles were premiered at the I think maybe they just had a trailer. They might have been announced previously, but they were all, given some kind of announcement at the Game Awards.
These are all world premieres.
Except for one. So we have Lords of the Fallen. Number 2, Forspoken. Number 3, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Number 4, Immortals of Avuum. And number 5, Blood Requiem. Number 6, Blue Protocol.
It's Blue Protocol is the false one.
What's Blood Requiem?
Is that supposed to be the
Blue Protocol?
Protocol.
Are you sure Blood Requiem is a game?
It sounds like it could be a game. I don't think Blue Protocol is a game.
I'm gonna say Blood Requiem.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Sam's gonna say
it is in fact Blood Requiem. I made that up. At least as far as I know, there is no game with that title.
I won
apparently
something.
A fantasy book series with that title, but
there's
not
a game called Blue Protocol. I'm gonna have to buy that game now.
There is. Apparently, I still couldn't tell you what it's about. Yeah,
Amazing.
Modern game titles are bad.
They're terrible.
I'm just gonna say that.
Why?
They're just like word salads. Not very memorable.
Word salads.
I'm looking at it right now.
Now, what's really killing it
terrible.
is the modern anime RPG names. It's like Daughter of Vernacular, Seventh Ring,
Octopath Triangle Strategy,
Forgiven Eternity, and it's just like,
well, if you want to get really bad, look at anime fighting game names.
You want to know what Blue Protocol is?
Like Under Night. What is that one called? I don't know. Melty Blood. Like these aren't even words, man.
Yeah, they just make it up. There's that Xbox 360 game.
This is a MMO that looks like basically like Genshin Impact and Fire Emblem and Zoids like mixed together.
Zoids? Robot animals?
Yeah, I mean it is made by it's being done by Namco, Bandai Namco, so I could totally see it. I mean, it looks just like all the rest of them. Kind of looks like the Altilier or whatever.
Wow.
Was it Altilier or whatever that is?
I don't even.
Yeah. Looks like that as well.
Okay. Well, congrats to me. John, do you have a trivia card for us?
I do.
All right. Let's make it a good one.
Hold on. Yeah, I got to pull one out of the right side, because you guys will already have the answer to the other one.
Probably already have the answer anyway.
Probably. These are usually not too difficult. As of 2021, which racing game series is the highest selling video game franchise that's entirely exclusive to the PlayStation console?
Oh my gosh. Gran Turismo.
Oh.
Yes, you are correct. And then 2, which games console is the best selling home games console of all time?
PS2.
The PlayStation 2.
That question is just awkwardly phrased.
That is weird to say.
Which game
they
console
use the
is
word
best-selling
console
home
twice.
games console?
Yeah.
We know what it is.
You are correct. I would say that it's probably soon to not be that console.
Those were pretty good. Like, if you aren't in the gaming zeitgeist already, you probably wouldn't know those.
The second question would maybe be harder, but I mean, there is no other racing franchise on PlayStation.
Right. That was a clue. All right. Let's jump over to a quick little show topic. which is we're going to give the PLOK Award for Outstanding Weirdness to games from 1990 and 91 because we feel bad that we didn't have that award for those years. So stay tuned, and we will be right back with that thing. And we're back. What we're going to do now is we're going to give the PLOK Award for Outstanding Weirdness from our GOTY 30 episode, which is the last episode that we did, to games from 1990 and 1991 because we missed them. We missed them because we didn't have that award yet back then.
As a reminder, this is a reward for games that have exceptional weirdness and quality. So it can't just be weird. It has to be good. It has to be weirdly good. And PLOK is sort of the archetype that fits this mold.
Yes.
1992, we awarded it to Spanky's Quest for the Super Nintendo.
Well-deserved Spanky's Quest.
Yep.
Very much so. I only have a few nominations, so I really want to hear what Sam has cooked up for us. It was tough for me to find games from 1990 because we didn't really have a master list back then. But I want to hear your nominations, Sam, and I'll throw mine in at the end of yours, and we can talk about the list as a whole for 1990.
So the nominees I put up for 1990 are Bubble Ghost for the Game Boy, Penguin Wars, also for the Game Boy, Commander Keen, the first episode of Commander Keen, so that's Commander Keen Marooned on Mars for DOS, and JJ and Jeff for the TurboGrafx 16.
Oh, JJ and Jeff. I had an experience with that. Like, I discovered it, and I was like, what is this thing?
Yeah, it's on the Mini. It's a very odd game that made its way onto the Mini. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, my addition to that list for 1990 is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
I thought about Moonwalker, actually, but I didn't include it because I have no experience with it.
Yeah, it's just, it turns Michael Jackson's dance moves into projectile attacks or like, it's basically a beat 'em up, except you're just doing you're moonwalking and you're doing the whoo thing, and it's got very Sega Genesis sounding Michael Jackson soundtrack. I don't think it's gonna win, but it sure deserved the nomination in my eyes. John, did you ever play Michael Jackson's Moonwalker?
I didn't. I almost rented it once, but I never did actually get to play it.
It's an experience. It definitely is. As far as the games we have listed here, the Bubble Ghost is a very, very good one with just a very strange concept.
Yeah, I'm just on a kick for obscure Game Boy games that feature ghosts.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And this is a puzzle game. It's not very complicated.
So yeah, you're a ghost and you have to guide a bubble through each stage by blowing it. And you can also blow other things like candles and fans that do stuff.
Yeah, it's essentially, and it's kind of, I don't know, like it's very well made, but it's kind of the world's worst escort mission as the entire game.
Yeah, it's actually initially, it's interesting to see the screenshots. It started as an Atari ST game, but the Game Boy version looks a lot, they redesigned the Ghost to be a lot cuter, number one, which I think helps. I definitely find it easier to look at. That, and some of it's that, like, because it was on the Atari ST and I think the Amiga, and it's just that color palette is always very, like, harsh on the eyes.
Yeah.
I kind of just think the Game Boy looks better.
Yeah, and then Penguin Wars, I'm not sure what that is.
It is this, I don't even know why you're a penguin, but you are, and you like roll these balls across a table, Like, and whoever like has the most on each side, like if you have fewer than the other player, which is always a computer opponent because it's a Game Boy game, at the end you win. But like you can also hit them with them, and then they get like stunned. It's like, it's weird. Just look up gameplay of it sometimes.
Yeah, so for
I'll have to
me,
look it up too.
for me, this is between Bubble Ghost and JJ and Jeff. That's where I'm.
Yeah, I
landing.
put Commander Keen on there. I don't know if it's weird enough.
I've
is the
never
thing.
never played it.
I
mean,
like Commander Keen a lot. I just
Really?
wanted to give it a shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably one of the earliest video games I played, actually. We used to have it on a floppy disk.
It sounds familiar. I'm sure I've played it. But yeah. So what do we think? Where are we leaning? Sam, John.
I was leaning towards Bubble Ghost. I haven't played a lot of JJ and Jeff.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't
barely
really
played
grab
it.
my attention
Yeah.
for long, is what it comes down to. I know there's people out there who like it a lot. So I can't say it's not a good game, but it didn't really grab me.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards Bubble Ghost.
I'm cool with Bubble Ghost. That's a good pick.
I could do Bubble Ghost too.
Yeah.
You know my bias is towards Game Boy games with ghosts.
Of course. But it is, it's also just a great game and pretty fun.
Yeah.
If not a little difficult and annoying. So yeah, I'm good with giving the PLOK award for 1990 to Bubble Ghost for the Game Boy. Good stuff.
Congratulations, Bubble Ghost.
Good job. Way to go. Way to be weird.
1991. A couple other interesting ones. I did include here Eliminator Boat Duel, which of course did get the Underdog Award, Game of the Year 30 for 1991. Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom for the NES as
classic.
well. And I also added in Phalanx just because that legendary banjo box art
It's so
is
good.
weird enough that it deserves some consideration.
Like what? Yeah, it's so weird.
That's definitely.
I also
never
do
did
want to
understand
note,
it.
just because it's weird, that in 1991 we also had the release of Spud's Adventure, which, as far as I've never played, as far as I can tell, it just isn't a very good game. But I just find it weird that two games released the same year that both involve saving a tomato princess.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
We also got the Amazing Tater on Game Boy in '91. It's kind of weird that we had two games that are about potatoes.
Yeah, is Spud's Adventure, because those are both Atlas. I think is Spud's Adventure supposed to be like an Amazing Tater spin-off or something?
I don't know. Let me look really quick.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna shout out one of my.
I think it is.
I'm gonna shout out one of my nominations, which is Decap Attack for the Sega Genesis.
I didn't realize that came out that year.
Decap Attack, essentially you're like a zombie mummy guy with
Named Chuck D. Head.
Chuck D. Head.
Very important.
Yeah, Chuck
Yes.
D. Head. And you kind of have two head situations going on. Like your body, your torso has eyeballs. And you also have a skeleton head. Then the skeleton head you throw, obviously, because you have to Chuck D. Head. And there's some very, like, the game is pretty normally platformery kind of thing. It shares a mechanic with PLOK in that throwing your head is how you attack. You also have some punches and kicks and stuff as well. But there's just some very bizarre like mini games too. Like there's one where you kind of have to build a zombie on the screen. And like, you fight bosses that are like, here is like an underwater lump of tar in a shell, like it's just such a strange situation. And you can make potions, and there's a lot going on here, and all your enemies are like weirdo cartoon character looking things. If you watch gameplay, it looks very PLOK like. It really does remind me of PLOK, from the enemies to just the animations and the mechanics. It feels like a PLOK type game. That one I'm hoping gets high on the list, if not wins it for us.
What's interesting about Decapitac too is that it was a reskin of an existing game.
Yes.
You weren't supposed to be throwing your head. You were supposed to be throwing hats. You would get different hats, and it was I forget what the title was, but it's interesting that they just decided to, for the American release, reskin it as this like Halloween Land themed.
They said,
game.
"Hey, Americans love spooky dookie. Let's do it."
So, Amazing Tater is actually a sequel to Quirk.
The
Which
puzzle
I guess
game?
in Japan, in
course.
Japan was called Puzzle Boy,
Okay.
and then Amazing Tater is Puzzle Boy 2 in Japan.
Wow.
So that's actually not related to the other game.
Bud's Adventure.
Yes, Bud's Adventure.
I mean,
It's just weird. Two
Great.
potato games by Atlas, just not even related.
my other nomination is the quintessential Toe Jam and Earl, which is as fun as it is weird. And I think the thing that really like brings home the weirdness is sort of the enemy situation that you have going on here, which is like just everything from a woman with a crying baby in a shopping cart to literally Santa Claus to a guy in a carrot costume to the boogeyman who turns invisible to like sharks to like and they all kind of fit in this weird, crazy world. But also mechanically, Toe Jam and Earl being kind of the first of its kind in like a top-down, multi-level, split-screen multiplayer, roguelike, essentially. So Toe Jam and Earl also high on my list for weird games in 91. So that's all the nominees. What are you guys feeling? What are we feeling here?
And for me, I think it's between Princess Tomato and Decapitac.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to hear your case for Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, I think I just wanted it mentioned. I'm not sure that it totally fits into the PLOK. Yeah, I think there's an element to PLOK where, like, if something's weird but it's also fairly mainstream and popular, it kind of loses a little bit of its Plockitude. Mm-hmm. And I think Toe Jam and Earl kind of rides the line because it essentially was like a system seller before, the same year as Sonic the Hedgehog. It was like that and Sonic the Hedgehog, and those were the games. And I
think it looks weirder in retrospect.
Yeah. I think at the time
90s, this was like
it was gross out humor.
Everything looked like.
Yeah, it was all gross out humor, and it didn't. And these days it looks weird, but I think you're right about how 91 that was kind of par for the course as far as humor for kids goes, whereas Decapitac has a much more unique style. It has an interesting story behind it. So I'm much more comfortable pushing Decapitac than I am Toe Jam and Earl. So, John, where are you leaning?
I think I got to go Princess Tomato.
That means I'm the tiebreaker, right? I have to decide between those two.
More standoffish than the rest of them. Like, just everything about it. The story's crazy. The gameplay's way different than a lot of games in 1991.
This is like what is this? A point and click adventure? I'm looking at video of it.
Yeah, it's like an adventure game, basically. It's a lot of go places, use items in different spots.
Yeah, point and click.
It's got a persimmon in it. Come on.
I have not played Princess Tomato myself.
Yeah,
but
I will say
I watched Shannon play some of it, which was fun. I think it definitely beats Decapitac in terms of pure weirdness. It's not my type of game, so it's hard for me to evaluate. Like, I would probably rather play Decapitac, to be honest. But that's just because that's more a genre I enjoy, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at this, and, like, there's a lot of weird crap going on here. There's, like, peanut villages crying over stuff. There's, is this bananas? Holy moly. He's not in the mood.
King Broccoli, man.
Goodness, this game is bizarre. Honestly, I think I've never played this. This is some crazy stuff going on. What are these robots now, or what? I wish y'all could see what I see, because this is
all over the place.
This is ridiculous. Like, here's my thing.
Man.
Here's my thing. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think Princess Tomato is absolutely the weirder game. Just looking at the footage.
Oh yeah, that's no question to me.
Decap Attack is certainly much more PLOK like. So I guess the question we have to ask ourselves is are we doing the weirder game or are we doing the better game? Oh, this orange is like winking at me from behind a shower curtain, so that's cool. There's so much weird.
Princess Tomato
Just
yet.
the screenshots are so weird. I just keep clicking through, like, who's this guy? There's like a skeleton head of lettuce guy.
Well, sorry, I'm getting coffee. Yeah, I don't want this to become just about like platformers, right? You know,
True.
I think some genre variety really speaks well for
the award
the
itself.
category.
Yeah.
At the same time, like I'm trying to correct for my own biases, but you know, I obviously like platformers a lot more than adventure games.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. But I you know, Princess Tomato is well regarded amongst, you know, it's definitely a cult hit type of game. Like people who have played it generally say good things about it.
It's quality then. Because I can't speak.
Art.
None of us can speak to the quality because we haven't actually played it. But if you're saying that there is a fan base that unironically thinks that it's really good, then I'm willing to go Princess Tomato. Because some of the images I saw in that screenshot are very difficult to get out of my head.
You cannot unsee.
There's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it seems like we have our winner, Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom.
Absolutely.
Receives the PLOK Award for 1991.
Well deserved for sure. Good deal. Yeah, so 1990 we landed on Bubble Ghost for Game Boy. In 1991 we landed on Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. And if you did not listen to our current episode that's up right now for GOTY 30 of 1992, that episode's great. I listened to it back recently and I was like, that was super fun. I threw my water bottle at the computer. I got mad because we were arguing about about what was it? It was Game Boy versus Super Nintendo. I got so mad, and I got so mad at you guys.
And you didn't realize the Game Boy had already won.
I guess, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking, man. I was hot. You guys made me upset.
You want the Game Boy, man.
I take this stuff personally, dude. Anywho's, we got a plethora, a smorgasbord, if you will, of Community Couch questions coming up. So we're going to jump over there before we say goodnight. So let's do that now. Okie dokie, we are back, and let's go around the horn and we'll pick a question. We're going to start with the ambassador, aka Mike Wrights, has a couple questions for us. John, why don't you start with this one?
All right. Which major media company would absolutely nail it if they made their own console with exclusives?
This one's kind of hard because, like, the obvious choice for me would be something like Disney that owns a lot of IP that people really, really care about. Except,
as long as you don't say Google.
Except they, oh my gosh, don't even get me started. Except they have tried to do that. They tried to make games for stuff like they did the Disney Infinity thing, but in my mind, the most successful Disney property games were the ones made by other video game companies.
Yeah, the ones made by Capcom.
Capcom and EA and and it's just like they can't seem to nail what video games are, and it's just not in their culture. They just weren't there for it, you know. They make movies.
It's also hard to, because Disney owns so many different media companies.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the obvious choice because games and IP kind of sell systems, right?
Because you'd be like,
well,
Marvel,
and not to mention,
Disney.
Disney has not made, you know, any kind of like console hardware. The closest they come is stuff in their parks.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess there's maybe some overlap there, right?
Sure.
Especially if you look at something like, you know, Toy Story, the Toy Story ride, you know, that's almost a video game.
In my very limited view of how video games are made, the hardware part is the easier part. Like, it's just a computer.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like Nintendo is just buying chips from, you know,
right.
Yeah, they're not designing.
Else. You know, they are buying components and putting them together
Sure.
To meet their, you know, set. You know, they come up with, okay, this is what we can do at this price point, and it works and should be able to perform well.
Yeah.
So
I think the one that would get closest is Disney, even though they failed multiple times. That'd be my guess.
You think Apple would ever want to put out their own console?
The thing is, they already have Apple Arcade.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But like, they could.
So I mean,
make any games,
and that's the thing with like with Apple or with Google or them, they would go the streaming route. I think,
yeah. And they did
rather do that,
and they failed.
And and they did.
It's like
and they still do, and it's a different thing.
They forgot to like make games for it. They were like. They had a great system. Stadia worked. Awesome, but Stadia worked really well, and I played on it. I played Borderlands 3 on it quite a bit. I played Doom Eternal on it. But then they were like, "Oh, we're shutting down all of our internal studios that we opened, and we're not adding anymore, and we're canceling all new projects." And then we were all like,
"Well, did
why?
They ever put out a game?"
Nope. No, there were 0 exclusives for Stadia ever.
That's what I was thinking. Like, they got all the studios to do this, and then they never produced a single game.
I'm like, what?
And it was out for years.
It's so annoying, man. They missed the reason why people stick to a platform.
Yeah.
They missed it. It's dumb. Follow-up question. Which gaming company would make a great standalone console? They would take all their past and future offerings and put them in one system. And make them exclusive. Okay, so video game console like Capcom, Sega, Ubisoft, and EA.
Yeah, not a current
making a console
hardware manufacturer.
Right. Sega doesn't have legs anymore for that. It would have to be Ubisoft or EA because they're or Activision, like behemoths that would be able to throw all their good stuff on as an exclusive.
I'd like to see Capcom do it.
I'd like to see them.
And
do
hey,
it.
you know, as an argument, the CP system 2, which was their like multi-variable arcade system. You know, where it had different daughter boards that you'd plug in, is basically a game console.
Yeah, basically.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
At that point, and it actually had more games than the Virtual Boy. Fun fact. So, you know, they're already, you know, better than Nintendo, I guess.
In 2023, Capcom's going to make a console because it's not like they're pushing games out all the time.
And I think you look at current the last year Capcom did really well. And I think you look at current Capcom, you compare them to the way Nintendo is structured currently, where they basically have, you know, a Mario team and a Zelda team and a you know, kind of miscellaneous team, and they have, you know, because they have like 2 teams that basically their job is Mario, your job is Zelda.
Right.
You have Intelligent Systems, whose job is just Fire Emblem now, which makes me sad.
Yep.
And you have Monolith Soft. And you kind of have that. And like, I think it would be forcing Capcom to go into their back catalog where they would because they would have a team that was like your Street Fighter, your Resident Evil, your Monster Hunter. But then to actually have another group that was digging back and was like, okay, we're going to make a new Gotcha Force. We're going to make
Let's
a new,
go.
We're going to make a new, whatever else.
Yeah, they have the
awesome.
IP to pull it off, but they just aren't producing currently what they'd need to in terms of exclusives. I think
Sega could come back.
Man, I don't know. They're like a AA studio at best.
Yeah, but they're branching out. They do a lot more than just gaming now. I mean,
yeah, I guess
they're wanting to do more movies. Like, I think they could approach it differently.
I would love to see it. I don't think that I think Capcom has more legs than Sega does at this point.
I mean, like if Sega pulled in and said, hey, everything that Atlas is producing is going to be on Sega consoles. There's a lot of people that play. Yeah, there's a lot of people that play Atlas games.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that'd be interesting.
If they created something and they struck it up and they were like, hey, if you want to play Persona, it's going to be on this new Sega console and that's it.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it. There's they make some different things, some different products. Obviously Sonic is not going to be what's drawing people to consoles any longer, but
it depends on who it is, but Sonic's got his fan base. They're there.
I know, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big enough pool by itself, but I think that they own enough things that they could,
not modern Sonic especially. But
yeah,
well,
I don't know.
Agreed.
I just think that they're quietly a larger company than what a lot of people, think about them being.
That may be true. And talk about a back catalog. I mean, let's go back to some Dreamcast stuff and do some remasters.
That's what I'm saying. They've been not having to worry about hardware sales and just strictly farming out their games that they make to all the other consoles for so long now.
And they still do quite a bit of publishing. And at some point, if you're going to run a platform, that's what you need to do. You need to be, you're not going to just fall on first party. You're gonna publish.
Yeah,
games
exactly.
That you,
for sure.
You see as being promising.
As far as I think they probably publish they've got to be up there as one of the top publishers. Just not as Sega brand, with all the other subsidiaries that they own.
Right.
It's like I said, Atlas publishes a lot of things. And they always, they have for a long time. It's a big name.
Yeah. What's this last question? What Nintendo franchise makes your skin crawl? What is that? No, I don't know.
I guess what's your least favorite one, I guess, maybe?
His is Dr. Mario? What a weird choice.
Yeah, I am surprised. I just don't. I can understand somebody not liking Dr. Mario, but having strong,
a visceral reaction to Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario.
I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about Fire Emblem.
I knew that was going to be yours.
But it's
well, I have a love-hate relationship with Fire Emblem, and I still don't. I don't know if I can bring myself to buy Engage.
I already bought it.
You're gonna buy it. You're all gonna buy it, and we're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna be over here playing Donkey Kong or whatever, or Pikmin 4.
I was trying to look and see if there was just something that I don't.
Yeah,
play.
That's not really.
My thoughts on Xenoblade are known at this point.
Yeah, I guess we all have our things, huh? John doesn't really hate on much, though.
No, I play a lot of different.
John plays a lot of stuff. He might not be super into something, but he'll at least give it a shot.
I usually just play it to play it sometimes. Just check it out.
All right, John, do you want to read Flightsy's question?
Let's see. This is his opinion, right? So was there more to this?
I think that was a joke. His question was, how dare you think that bracket insert opinion from Goaty 30 close bracket. What were you thinking? Because it hadn't happened yet. And so he was predicting some terrible opinion somebody had.
He was right. Streets of Rage got nothing.
Streets of Rage should have won
Streets
something.
of Rage 2 did not win anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic
got what he deserved. Sonic won exactly the awards.
Sonic got things he did not deserve.
Yes.
Sonic was given gifts.
He was. He deserves them. He's the best.
I don't know. That one's weird. Let's go to the next one.
Speaking of gifts.
What's the best gift you've ever given?
Best gift I've ever given.
And we can answer this correctly, unlike everyone in the Discord who is talking about gifts that they received.
I think I started that. I started that because I read it wrong and everybody followed me. I'm sorry. Given, I gave my ex a car when she was still my girlfriend in high school. That was pretty good. I bought it and then I fixed it and I gave it to her.
It's not bad.
You're welcome, Rachel, if you're listening.
You make it sound like she wasn't very appreciative.
No, she was wonderful. She was great. I moved. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So, one that got away. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I've given away a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I can't. That's got to be it. I mean, I give my wife my entire paycheck every 2 weeks. Does that count?
Yeah. I support my children.
Yeah, how about that? There's my gift. There you go.
I always feel weird about giving gifts, but I don't know. Something I think I enjoy doing it, and I think it's well appreciated, and usually it, seems to go over well. I've taken on Christmas now for all the grown-ups. I do homemade baskets of food. So I really got into cold smoking my own sausage. So I'll make everybody like a smoked summer sausage
and cheese.
I'll do cheese and nuts, and then like muffins and cookies and what else was in there this year? I think
you need to open up like a little bakery, smoked goods.
Third strongest bakery.
And muffins.
Third strongest scones.
Yes.
It's an Earthbound themed bakery.
Just have to find a way to make peanut cheese bars.
Yeah. Nailed it.
I think
Mr. Saturn's favorite food.
Yep.
John,
I don't know.
Did you answer?
I've also given away a car to my mom.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the best gift that I've ever given.
That N64 was pretty sweet over Christmas.
I don't know. I've given away. I like to give stuff away. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's fun. It's good stuff. And the final one from Flightsy. What is the meaning of this?
What does that relate to?
Well, the meaning of this is that, just...
It isn't that.
Love your family and, find something you love to do. Try to treat people well. And, just when you die, leave a legacy.
I bet that was in relation to you answering this question wrong and then everyone else following suit.
That's probably what it is, yeah. Yes, the meaning of this is retro games. All right, and then Sam, do you want to read that last question?
All right. Actually, there's two more. We have two questions from Presto.
Okay.
Do you usually spend your winter indoors or outdoors more?
Texas is
Indoors for me.
kind of weird. Like it was 70 degrees today, so we were outside a lot. Probably outdoors because of where I live. But I would say you
if
both.
I'm being honest, I spend more of my time indoors all year round anyway. I actually like the cold weather within reason. I'm not going to stay out there all day. I actually really like going for walks in the snow. Part of why I like it, I think, is because fewer people are out, so it's quieter, and I just go look at the deer in the park. And they just stare at me.
That's
and I stare
wonderful.
at them,
Support your hermit life.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love walks in the snow.
I
It's
don't.
a mood, you know.
Makes my feet wet.
You come back, you get cozy in your warm house, you get some hot cocoa, you're good. Get a blanket, watch a movie.
I can do those things without going outside.
Yeah, but you get both. You get the cerebral experience of aloneness in the snow with deer.
I used to enjoy being outside a lot more in the cold.
Cathartic.
But now, I'd rather just not if I don't have to. I don't like driving in the cold. I don't like.
Oh no, driving I would never.
Nobody
driving.
likes driving in the cold.
I mean, usually if I go outside in the cold, that's what I'm doing. Just driving to work so it just kind of ruins. If you're not a kid anymore, man, you can't go out and make a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping you? Make that snowman.
Get that snowman going. Do it.
My 5 kids would destroy it.
Don't let society tell you that you can't make a snowman. Because
I would get.
Make
I'd
them
be
build
putting
a
the finishing
snowman.
touches on it. One of my kids would jump through it.
That's what it's for.
That's the best gift you've ever given.
Yeah.
Right there.
Snowman pile.
All right. Last question from Presto is: what 3 community members would you trust to run the podcast for you? I'm going to assume that excludes current podcast hosts on our network. Sorry, that took a while to get out. Flightsy would always have something to talk about, and he's always giving us stuff to talk about.
Yeah, but then we need somebody to keep him from going 5 hours.
We need like a Brian or it's like a good head on their shoulders. Solo something, but he's already on FilmLogic.
He's disqualified.
Oh, Shannon or
Shannon. Shannon's got a good head.
Eric.
Brian or Shannon or Eric. Somebody just like he has to be the John of the episode, you know. Flightsy would be like me, and then we have a John, and then we need a Sam who just who is kind of like a John but also very knowledgeable. And Sam
Is there any other moles in the community?
There's not. There's really not. Maybe there's only one Sam. You can't replace him.
It's only one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think those guys.
I thought there were 5 masters of this hole, and I was the 3rd strongest among them. But
yeah.
Yeah, who's the first?
How can I be the 3rd if I'm the only?
You know, doesn't Purple Riolu have a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She'd be good too. She does a lot of talking in the community. You know what? I think Textree would be good on here too. I got to get him actually on the podcast though. He's been on once, right? Has Trey been on?
I don't think so.
We gotta get Trey on here.
Just look down the list of who's on our top leaderboard.
Oh yeah, let's go to the bot.
Go to the leaderboard.
Let's see the top 10 community members. Number 1 is Spider Shan, and then number 2, close second, is Presto, who's been trying to catch up, and then number 3 is Eric, who fell behind a bit. He was number 1, and then Nintendo Man, Flightsy, Solo something, Maddie Beth. Maddie Beth would be great on here. Her content's super funny. Chris, HL, Textray, and Wizard of Blah. And everybody else is below that. So, honestly, I would trust anybody in this Discord to come on and have something cool to say on this podcast. And that's the gospel truth. That's it. That's the show.
That's
We did
the show.
That's a short and
We
sweet
did it.
one. Nice and short and sweet.
First one of the year. Trying to keep it lean and mean.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it lean and mean because I gotta get some sleep, guys. My sleep habits are just effed, and it affects every area of life. I'm trying to learn piano, for crying out loud. I need those brain cells. Yeah. That is all. Thanks for listening to the RetroLogic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. If you like what you hear, you can check me out on Twitter at RetroLogic Games. You are also welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. The link to that is in my Twitter bio and on the website, along with all the other information you could ever want about this beautiful, amazing network of podcasters and people. And jump on in, guys. We're all friendly. We're all here to have fun. So you can find all that at the website retrologic.games. That is all. And good night, guys. See y'all in the next one.
Bye now.
Goodbye.